Welcome to Turbo Geeks Ultra. I'm your host, Brandon, as always, with Mr. Sean Ryan.
Yo, what's up?
We took a new intro, bud.
Say what? What'd you say?
So, what do you think of that new intro?
Dude, I love it. I can't get enough of that song. It's just so us. It's so 80s. It's so metal. I love it.
The headache that it took for me to get that thing together. Bro, it turned out to be the best $50 that I've ever spent in my life.
I know, all for that for $50. It's insane. We've looked so far like high and low, and people have been quoting us such expensive rates, which is understandable, but man, the fact that we used two different composers to make one awesome song, I'm pretty happy. It came out great.
Technically three, but we don't talk about the second one.
Oh, right. Yeah, we'll just brush number two under the rug there a little bit.
Oh, man. So, well, Sean, before we get started, can you tell what is playing on the big screen behind me? If you need a hint, I will give you one. It has
Predator.
Jesse. Oh, bro, I didn't even need a hint. Yes, sir. Predator this week.
Heck yeah. All right.
You're getting too good at this. I'm about to dig into the VHS.
Pick something I don't know.
So, Sean, I got a little surprise for you this week.
What's that?
I bamboozled a special guest to join us.
Oh, yeah. You sure did.
Yeah. Yeah, I found a guy on old TikTok.
Oh, is that where?
Yeah, it was cool. The weirdest thing was I've never seen a beard look so good doing, TikTok dances. I mean, it was great. I said, "Ooh wee, I'm gonna have to get to." I said, "How you doing?" Swooping them DMs. No, so I'm pretty sure he followed us first randomly.
Okay,
and I was like, "Who's following us?" Because we hardly ever post on TikTok.
Yeah,
we really don't. We normally used to like make videos and we post on our Insta. So I looked on his page and I said, "Oh my god, this is a pop store."
Yeah.
And then I got looking, dude, and he's got a literal pop store, like little Funko Pop store, right? I'm like, this is so cool. So I was like, shot in the dark. I'm gonna say what's up. So I said, "Hey, how's it going?" Well, then come to find out, the man has his own podcast.
Yes.
And I can totally relate to that. So, without further ado, I would like to introduce Piper.
Hey, what's up?
Yo.
What's going on,
Hold on. So, I want to answer that first. And the reason that I followed you guys is because it said podcast, and I was like, "Oh, podcast, click. I don't care." And
hey,
that's sweet. That is the requirement to get a follow from me. But that's not much because we only have 100 people that get. Wait, am I allowed to say naughty words?
Yeah, you can say whatever. We can always edit later, really.
Okay, I'll just take. I won't. We do a clean show, so I just have to.
Yeah, we try.
It's okay. Okay, cool. So nobody cares about us on TikTok. I'm not an attractive lady. I'm not mostly nude and jiggling around. So the only people that follow us are, people that are like-minded individuals. So I appreciate that. And I appreciate the beard compliment. It is way trimmed down. Normally it's down here.
Dude, yeah, that makes three of us because normally we look like we're all homeless.
Yeah. Fit right in.
Yeah, I had to trim mine down because it was getting like Captain Caveman.
Yeah, I just trimmed mine down too.
Yeah, he looks homeless. So, but yeah, man.
My wife was on my ass about that.
For sure.
So Piper, tell us a little bit more about these things called pops that you deal in.
That I deal in. So my store is technically it's a designer toy store. So, but we have a lot of Funko, which is not a designer toy, but we carry a lot of things. So our big money maker, obviously, I know I didn't say money maker, the thing that people care about when they come in. So Funko, right? So we have a lot of that. And the reason that we really started this store was because so my business partner / co-host Ricky, he's not here because he's I think he's in like Virginia doing a wedding or something like that. He's not getting married. It's like a family member. But so he and I, we used to do conventions like all the time. We would do like Fan Expo Dallas, which is like used to be Dallas Comic Con, and then we do fan days, and then we always because of the podcast we do, we get to travel to the different like big ones. All right, so Emerald City, New York, San Diego. So we did these cons, and we decided, hey man, let's start a business. Let's actually make this legit. I mean, we have a podcast, and that was our business, but we were like, it doesn't make us money. You guys know there's no money in podcasts,
Right?
or at least I haven't figured it out yet.
Nope.
Dude,
We've got
say it's literally the movie Money Pit with Tom Hanks. That is our podcast.
Yeah, pretty much.
How much money can you dump into this thing?
Yeah.
So
And get 0 followers. That's the best part.
right?
It's literally just purging money. Yeah, it's a good
for
script.
sure. It's you talking to yourself. It's you yelling into the void, is what it is.
Right. Yeah.
So we have we were basically depending on conventions, which that's only like half of the year, and then patrons, right? Because we had a decent amount of patrons until we decided to slow the podcast down. Well, we made this decision. We were like, man, let's open a store. Well, start off, let's open a studio so we can have a place to record. We're like, yeah. But then we figured out it was too much money. So let's do a store and the studio for the podcast. And so we were like, yeah. So we got everything together. We found an awesome place. We're like upstairs above a bar. So that
cool.
part is really cool. You guys might be able to hear really bad, like just like hair metal right now. I don't know if you can. I hope not.
Nope.
But there's
that's
a lot.
still
Of it.
awesome.
It's not all the time. Like
Aw.
there's only so much like a Silver Bullet Band that I can deal with on a daily basis.
Yeah.
I don't like 1 or 2 songs. I'm good, but like, it doesn't stop. So we did all this work from July into October. We like busted our butts getting this place set up, redoing all the walls, getting everything hung. Looks really nice. And then I find out my business partner gets orders to move jobs to another state of the whole that is of Florida. So he goes from Texas to Florida, and then we open the store. So it's like, it's by me now. So that's kind of how this came to be. It was supposed to be like a joint thing, and then his job was just like, I'm punching in the face. That's a thing.
You're like a single mother now. Just
yeah, for sure. I was abandoned by my husband. He went to get some smokes a long time ago. He was driving a ways.
right.
But I mean, it's not just Funko we sell. I mean, we're starting to carry trading cards now, so we carry like Pokemon, Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh. I have a bunch of vintage like Pokemon stuff here, which that's like a big draw for people. And then we carry like Star Wars Black Series and Marvel Legends and vintage and then some smaller toy designers like Bim Toy and Bombable Toys, stuff like that. So it's just like it's a lot of different things. But if you walk in here, just like this is a lot of Funko, and I was like, yeah, well, that's what it is.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's bro, because we have fallen into a collector's, what's the word I'm looking for? Downwards. Yeah, bro. We've got like it pretty much, yeah. No, it has been. I picked up one Legacy Ninja Turtle. Like, dude, we've always collected,
Yeah.
But not like with a purpose. It's just been, that looks cool. I get that. But bro, now I picked up this one Legacy Turtle in this toy store we found in a small town where Sean just so happens to work, and it's been a whole new world of like, oh my god, these things still exist, and bro.
Ninja Turtle stuff is
yeah.
It's crazy now. Like, so especially like the stuff that NECA's doing, they have some wild stuff. Like they just started the first one of the set just released or finally came out was the Raphael as the
Frankenstein
monster.
Yeah.
It's so we have some coming to the store. We have some. They're I don't know when they're gonna be here, but they're gonna do this full line, and I hope they do more than just the turtles. But they are so rad, and they're like in their retro line. They're doing like I forgot what they're called. They're like ultras or megas, but they're like 8-inch versions of like the old school sculpts. They're really cool.
Yeah. So they also are doing a complete Secret of the Use run.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I have the Super Shredder that I just picked up from NECA, and he is glorious, dude.
It looks so cool.
I have that sitting in the front of the store. So is
Oh,
yours? So here's which version is yours? If you look at his eyes, do his eyes look like he just got kicked in the genitals, or do they look? Is it like the actual figure? Like, look at his eyeballs. Does it look scary? Like he's like, oh, that's too much.
He just got kicked in the dick. That's
There you go. So that is the New York Comic-Con one. So that one was originally released at New York Comic-Con, and then there's another one where I don't remember if it's all white eyes or his eyes look normal. That was the public release one. So if so, that one is
yeah. Hey, there you go.
That's why we got professionals here. So now it's cooler because I've never been to New York Comic Con and I've always wanted to go, but I got swag from New York Comic Con.
There you go, man. New York Comic Con, dude. It's a must. Where are you guys located?
Ohio.
In Ohio.
Ohio. My best friend lives in Ohio. That's exciting.
Where in Ohio?
Yeah, we're at
Stowe.
Stowe.
I think it's north.
Yeah, Stowe is like northwest, I think.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
where are you at?
Columbus.
We're kind of Columbus. Yeah, I'm out in the sticks,
cool.
like an hour south of there, southeast.
Yeah, I like it there. I know most people from there just despise the place. I like it. It's a jolly, enjoyable place. If you
here's why. Because Saturday we got 3 inches of snow and it was 71 today.
Yeah,
that's Ohio.
That's Ohio for you. So
we just so our cold time. We are still amidst the cold time. I think 2 days ago it was like 32. Today was 79. A couple weeks ago it was just snowing. Yep. It's like here. It's weird.
It's funny because outside looking in, you'd think in Ohio you're like Texas.
Yeah,
it's always 100 degrees.
It's 100 degrees. It's full of belt buckles and cactuses. Like that's Texas. But
most of those statements were very accurate.
Oh, okay. Nice. No.
It does snow every year. Cold time, winter up here because we're north. We're Dallas Fort Worth area. Right?
Okay.
So like that's we're not too far from Oklahoma, and Oklahoma gets a lot of snow.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. Okay.
So you said you guys do you get like media passes?
Yes.
When you go to these, bro, I've been trying to get Turbo Geeks Ultra media passes just to wear.
Yeah,
like we're not even going anywhere. Yeah, we just want to walk.
After this, I'll give you the lowdown on how to do it because it's not too hard. I'll break their system down for you. Yeah, dude. It's when we were like relatively unknown, we got passes to San Diego's really hard to get into, but New York, Emerald City, MegaCon, WonderCon, all those real simple. You just got to get there. That's the expensive part. Like New York Comic Con, it's like they like to hand out passes for it. So you get your press pass and you get access to a lot of the stuff. But when you get there, hotels are horribly expensive. And the first time that I went, me or Rick had been once or twice before. First time I went, we drove there from Texas. That was the biggest mistake of my life. Like it was 30 hours in a car. It was horrible.
30 hours.
And it's just because like it took us like 5 hours to get out of Dallas because there was like an explosion in the road or something like that. And then we drove to Northern Virginia to pick up a buddy of mine. And then we went to New York. But it's still like, even if you take that out, it was still like I'd probably say like 25 hours.
You see, like we could drive to New York because New York's only a few hours away from us.
Yeah.
And that's what's confusing about the rest of the country is like you can go to other states relatively quick. For me, it's like, you could drive 12 hours and you're still in Texas.
That's like driving in Georgia to go to Florida. Like you're in Georgia more than you are in any other state. It's just forever long.
That's crazy.
So now, do you guys do like the like Wayne's World with your passes? You just like walk up to the security guard and hold them up. Just we're allowed back here.
So okay, the funny thing about that is, most of the time, the people that work at these despise press, and they like treat us worse than like the regular people coming in. This past year, or not this year, the last time I went to Emerald City, which I guess was 2019. Yeah, 2019, because 2020 got canceled because the world.
Right.
And so we went, and they were like, "All right, press lines up out here." All right, and then everybody else line up over there. So we did, and then it starts raining because they're in Seattle, right? And then they're like, "Oh, everybody come inside except press." And then we had to stay outside for an hour in the rain. Like,
Oh
we were
my
like,
god!
listen, why do we have to be out here? They're like, "I don't know, there's not enough room for you." It's a huge building. It's a giant, like a 1,000,000 square foot building. Just let us in this place.
Someone's got a vendetta.
Oh yeah, so like that, and then like we've had it where like it just depends on the con and depends on the day and how like angry the person working the door is. But sometimes it's nice. You can just go and be like, "Oh, let me in. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to listen to you." And then we go. And then sometimes we have to sneak past security guards to get in. So that's just kind of how it goes.
Gosh, that's terrible.
So let's do it, Sean. Let's just travel the country. We'll quit our jobs, travel cons, and try to break in.
How are we gonna fund that?
You got a podcast. That's how you fund
Yeah,
it.
dude.
Yeah.
We start a Patreon.
Do you guys not have Patreon set up?
We have buy me a copy. I don't think anyone's gonna ever buy us a copy.
I'll be honest with you. Our podcast is such a passion project.
Yeah.
Dude, we have a store that has some swag in it.
Yeah.
You know, t-shirts, hoodies, and stuff like that. But we don't. I'm a very prideful person. I'm not one to ask for money.
Gotcha.
If you want to give, it's cool. But I'm not going to be like, hey, we're going to give you bonus content because first off, we barely get to put out our content anyway. You know, we get an episode a week at a time just because of life, because we don't do this full time. Now, if this is a full-time gig, sure, we'll make 15 episodes a week. If we don't have, a job, Sean's got a farm. Like, I got a house.
Like a legit farm?
Yeah, Sean's a farmer. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's a lot. That's too much work.
Yeah, especially so my wife is a deputy sheriff too, and she works second shift. So I'm lucky to see her for a full day once a week. So, and I'm raising a 2-year-old, and we've got another kid on the way too, plus farm, plus just life and work. And yeah, it's fun, keeps me young.
Brandon, what do you do?
Keeps me moving.
I actually do smart home installs.
Oh, that's cool.
So I work maybe 4 hours a day.
Right.
If I work 4 hours a day, I wake up at like 10. As long as my installs get done, I still get paid either way.
Dude, so he just landed this new gig like maybe a month ago, and he's like, "Hey, I'm only
like 4
working
months."
Oh, really? But he's like, "I'm only working like 2 days this week, and I'm making like twice what I made my last job, so it's going pretty well." I'm like, "You suck."
I was like, so we're starting the podcast back up because I can afford it finally.
Yeah, like time and money. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Plus, and then I start collecting. So while I'm working, I'm running around at thrift stores and retro hunting, and
so you're back to square one.
Yeah, so I'm broke anyway.
Gone now.
Yeah. So, but no, I mean, like I said, we got to buy me a coffee. I don't even really push it. I don't even think I've checked it. I don't even know if anybody's bought us coffee.
Really. Yeah.
But I mean, I just want people to enjoy what we talk about. I'm not in it for the dollar. So
you could be though.
Yeah,
you could be in it for the dollar.
We'll have to see, because maybe we will start doing like commercials or whatever. I mean, we haven't even looked into that yet, but
for sure, it's so hard. Like I said, we had to like expand so much, and so we do Patreon on our podcast, but we use it as more of like a membership than just a please give me money so I can do a podcast. So like we have a Discord server, and we have a good sized community, or we did. It's kind of like dwindled down now. Like I said, we took a long like 8-month break because just like all this craziness happened. But we use it as like a membership, and we do like giveaways for our patrons, and so we found ways to kind of make it worth it to people that isn't just like, I mean, and I know there's podcasts out there that they don't have to do that. They're like, "Oh, you give us $50 and we'll give you a shirt, and then you're going to be happy with that." Like last podcast on the left, they make like $96,000 a month just from like Patreon. And and that's just like, you don't even get anything. And like occasionally, like depending on your tier, you'll get like no ads, but like they could do that because they're a huge podcast. And like with us, we had to like scrounge and figure out, like break our brains. So it's tough. Like just podcasting world in general is just crazy.
Yeah.
And it sucks because I feel like people there's a million podcasts out there now. Like everybody got locked down, and they're like, "Well, let's do a podcast."
Yep.
And I mean, I'll be honest, we did.
Yeah, is that what
Is that when we started?
Yeah,
it
well,
was
it
a little bit
didn't quite
before.
start yet. Yeah, it was before COVID locked everything down. But we just started talking about. I'm like, Sean, I'm sure people our age would love to hear about the stuff that we're talking about because that was our childhood, man.
Yeah.
Like, bro, like for example, Piper, like what are some of the things when you was a kid that you still love to this day? Like, what is your main focus on your childhood?
Pizza. I love pizza. Still
All right,
focus on it
yeah.
all the time.
Right.
What do I like? Okay, so retro games. Like, I have since stopped collecting. Mainly, I think it was really COVID made me stop focusing on it. But retro games was like a thing for me. Like, I played video games forever. Like as a kid, like that was my like pastime. I did that, and then when I got older, I actually started a website about just indie games, like game reviews and stuff like that. And I did that for a while. And I thought, I was like, oh man, I'm gonna scale this. This is gonna be my job. And then it didn't end up being my job because it's too hard. But as I was doing that, I started up my passion again for like retro games. I was like, oh man, I love this. So I would go to the flea markets, I would go to garage sales, and I amassed a giant collection of retro games. And I've now being told, hey, you need to get rid of this by my wife. And so I'm kind of like getting things out of the garage and getting rid of stuff. But that's my thing, man. Like retro games, I love that. And then action figures. I've always really loved action figures. Like Spawn, Alien versus Predator when those came out, like in like
Nice.
96.
Nice.
But like Spawn was like my big thing. I love that. And then I also recently started I guess a couple of years ago, started collecting or trying to find the Earthworm Jim figures that are on card.
Oh, cool.
Oh,
So
nice.
I have a good little collection of those, and then I have a bunch of on card Spawn like first edition figures from like 94 or whatever. So that's the kind of stuff I like.
Sweet. Now, have you ever do you go to a lot of toy shows or anything down there?
So we go to conventions a lot. I don't go to like specific, like there's a thing here called like the Dusty Attic toy show that they do once a month. And then there's a bunch of smaller like pop swaps and toy shows. So we do those sometimes. I'm actually doing one on Saturday. A buddy of mine is doing it at the high school that he works at. And so he invited me and we're doing it next Saturday. And I'll have like a nice little booth set up. But yeah, I don't get out to him too often just because like I work 2 jobs, right? So I work I have the toy store, but then I have like a real job that like I do at the same time. So it's difficult. I work like 6 days a week, but then I take like on Sunday, like half the day I do stuff for like paperwork for the store. So it's really hard for me to get out and do things if it's not like work related.
Right. Because I mean, like we're having one of our other good friends that they own a vintage toy store. They're having their toy show this weekend. Like it's Central Ohio Toy Store, like show.
Massive.
It's
Yeah,
massive.
like 40,000 square feet or something like that.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah, it's like
I didn't know if you guys had those there or not because that's what they deal in. So
yeah, we have tons of stuff like literally every weekend up here from like March until October. There's like conventions and toy shows and stuff like that going on. It's a wild place to be. Like this, if you are doesn't matter if you're like vintage, if you're a toy collector, if you're like a shoe boy, if you're like into anything, like DFW is just like hopping.
Oh, that's cool.
I love it. It's a great place.
So when you say vintage, you just do mostly cartridge games, or you just?
Yeah, I was going to ask that. Yeah, if you were doing emulators, or were you doing?
No, it's all like for real legit like cartridge stuff. I mean, it makes me realize how old I am when now like disc games are also considered like retro.
It's true. Yeah, Dreamcast
like
and PlayStation.
And
you're like,
PlayStation
wow.
1. Technically, PlayStation 2 is also vintage because it came out in what 2000 was it 2002 something like that 2003. I don't know when the PlayStation 2 came out. I don't know dates, but yeah, GameCube stuff. Like GameCube was my jam. The absolute best system, and I just realized the other day I was like, "Dang, this is old."
Yeah.
All right. So, GameCube.
Yes.
The big question: do you have Code Veronica X?
I do have it in my collection.
Nice,
bro. That's a good one.
Oh my gosh,
that's a good one. It is
I
so
did
hard.
not realize. I didn't realize one how many people absolutely love the GameCube, and also how expensive some of those games are right now.
Right.
So I had said that my wife was like, "Hey, you need to get rid of some of this because it's like half of our garage." Okay, just to give you an idea, we moved from Waco, Texas. So you guys probably know that because, well,
Yep, wake up.
buses,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so we moved from here to Dallas Fort Worth. So it's like I don't know how many, 100 and something miles, 120 miles, let's say, whatever. We used 2 of the largest U-Hauls to move all of our stuff, and pretty much one of those U-Hauls was my collections of things.
That's awesome.
It's not awesome. It's not. It made me realize, oh, I'm doing something wrong in my life. So
No.
I'm now getting rid of stuff. So I did an auction the other day on Whatnot. All right, because so have you guys know about that? Do you know about the Whatnot?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And kind of delved into that
refuse-
recently too.
And I refuse to put my information in
Because
because
you
I
know, like,
know.
Mistakes.
Bye. 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 Bye.
Well, I'm gonna just say, make sure that you follow me, Captain Strongbeard, because so I did a retro gaming auction on last Sunday, and it went so well. But I realized like Mario Party 7 without the microphone sells for almost $100.
Jeez.
Like
Bro,
that's crazy.
That Code Veronica,
Yeah.
it's like a $350 game.
Yeah, I saw
Yeah,
one disc
man.
because it's a 2-disc game. I think I saw the one disc going for like $150. It wasn't even the complete game.
It wasn't even complete.
Lord.
There's so many games, especially for GameCube, that it's just I think that was it holds up so well, like graphically. Like Nintendo has always been like, I'm not trying to compete with like the PlayStation or the Xbox. We're just gonna make really good games. And that's
Right.
why their product do so well. GameCube not so much, but like you look at like the Switch, they're not trying to be like groundbreaking, but all the games on the Switch are great. Like every single Nintendo game is amazing. So
Right.
Nintendo does that really well, and I think that's why people are really like hot on the GameCube. But like some of those games are just so hard to find now that they're ridiculous prices. I think I have a copy of Fire Emblem, one of the Fire Emblem games for the GameCube. The disc alone is $200, like nothing else. Doesn't make sense. It's not even a good game.
I remember having, my toys, my consoles growing up. I always traded it in for the new best. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I'm like, why, bro? If I would do some Back to the Future shit, I would go back and be like, listen here, you chubby little boy, don't open a single toy. Save every console because you can cash in one day and be rich. Like, stop it.
It's crazy. So like just recently my dad sent me the link to, it was an auction for the Optimus Prime, like the original Optimus Prime that came with the trailer, the metal trailer. I had that when I was a kid. Like that was like an expensive toy back in the day. I think it was like $150, but in the 80s, man, that was like a $400 toy now. And I remember I had it, and my dad, he called me. He's like, "Hey, do you still have that Optimus Prime?" And I was like, "Dude, I think you threw it away. Like you guys were cleaning up the garage and threw it away." He's like, "All right. So first off, I want to apologize for doing that. Second of all, one just sold on eBay for $35,000."
Oh my god!
Jeez.
I was like, "Was it
God.
sealed?" He's like, "No, but it did have the box with it." I'm like, "Yeah, that's insane." And then there was another one. It was like a GI Joe like battle destroyer or something like that sold for like $15,000 just by itself. It had all the accessories and stuff, but it wasn't in a box. It wasn't sealed or anything like that. I'm just like, dang man.
Yeah,
Why I try to sell everything in garage sales?
And I personally don't collect for the. I collect the nostalgia, not the toy itself, right?
Yeah,
bro. I have probably 20 loose turtles up here on my shelf.
Yeah,
they ain't got a single accessory. They're missing, but I got the core figure, and the figure's not broken.
Yeah.
One day I might have the accessories for it. I'm not going to search for them. I'm not going to break the bank to buy them.
Yeah, right? For sure.
Dude, like some of those, like you said, some of those toys, man, are just nuts. Dude, do you ever appear on the Goodwill auctions.
Oh, don't even get me on that. I hate them. I hate them. It's there. It's a
I
scam.
don't like auctions.
So I swear, okay, I got a good deal on some VHS there, right?
Yeah.
It cost me almost double with the shipping.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's
And
what
I'm like,
kills them.
bro. And now I'm like trying to like, well, bro, I'm gonna have to piece some of these VHSs out to make some money back because, bro, they doubled what I paid. Bro, I got 50 pounds of VHS tapes, and now the shipping cost me double. Like, yeah.
I just personally have a problem when those things were given to Goodwill, and instead of just selling them in the store, they realize, oh, these things are valuable, so let's auction them and see how much money we can get. Like that's just like that's
Right.
super shady town. Like if you go look at their retro game auctions, like some of the games will start at like $100, and it's not even close to that. But and then the shipping on it is like for like an NES game. The last time, like they were like charging $25 shipping for a Nintendo. Like you could ship that for $350. Like just
Right.
throw it in a bubble mailer.
Right. And dude, it reminds me of the 40-year-old virgin. She has the eBay store. he's like, I want to buy these, and she's like, well, it's on eBay. He's like, but I want to give you money and take these with me. Like that's how this works. So like you go in the Goodwills around here, man, they have these giant glass cases that like you want this item, you have to go on the auction and buy it. And don't get it wrong, I've got some okay pieces off that, but bro, after I got burnt on them VHS tapes, man, like I'm like, bro, I look, I don't partake like I used to,
Right?
I got burnt bad on that one, man. But yeah, dude, but it's I love looking at all that shit. That's what I do on Whatnot.
Yeah.
I just stare at my phone and I look what it's going for, what people buy it for. That way, if I ever find it at a flea market or something like that, I'm like, oh, this one on Whatnot, you know, that was $100 piece right there. I'm gonna put that in my pocket.
Right,
like, bro, I got some cool pieces. I don't know if you remember these. He's missing his hair because obviously somebody cut it off. But do you remember these?
The troll ones, dude? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a lot of those.
$1.75. I found it at a flea market.
I love flea markets. That's I love going to flea markets.
Oh,
so
retro.
we have a flea market up here that it's called Trader's Village.
Nice.
And they converted an old airport to a flea market. So it is huge. Like they have some like permanent structures, and then they have people that set up their like tables and stuff like that. You can find the wildest stuff that you can go buy a parrot if you want to. You want a parrot or some other crazy bird? Go to the flea market. Like,
I bought a machete and a ferret today.
Dude, like they have some crazy stuff, and most of the stuff is ridiculously priced, but they have some gems you can find there too. Like it's wild. But yeah, y'all should look it up. Trader's Village. It's in like Grand Prairie, Texas. It's a sight to be seen.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we have what we call the West Side Flea Market, and it is like little Tijuana.
Okay,
every booth is like bedazzled Virgin Mary, you know, affliction shirts, and it's, bro. You talk about the ferret. There was literally a Mexican guy selling a fox that he caught.
Oh my god!
Like feral fox.
He's like, "Hey man, you want to buy a fox?" I was like,
"Pretty good deal, no?"
What am I going to do with a fox? That's the first question.
Right.
What do you use them for?
How do you catch a fox?
Probably
They're very nimble creatures. Like it's not like you just sneak up and pick it up. Like, how did you catch a fox?
You.
Shut up, Sean.
That's so funny. We have one. So when I lived in Waco, we had one. It was called Treasure City, and there was zero treasure in this place. They did have a lot of rust though, and it was like that. It was just every other stall was like chainsaws and lawnmowers, and then lots of like stereo equipment, and then furniture of all types. But it's like most like the chairs didn't have like seats in them, or it was like dirty mattresses and stuff. It was not. Everything
was either stolen or ripped off the curb.
Yeah, exactly. People like, yeah, for sure. Which I'm cool with that. I mean, take my stuff, and you want to make some money, go for
Hell
it.
yeah.
But that was the best place to find video games, man. Like even there was like people that were selling like old school Hot Wheels there for literally nothing. And if I knew at the time like anything about Hot Wheels, I would have just bought all that stuff up. But they had action figures. They were like 80s on card action figures. They were like very close to like mint, like all kinds of wild stuff. But it's all stuff I didn't really collect, and I didn't have enough knowledge at the time about. Now going back, I'm like, dude, like if I would have just like taken a chance on some of that stuff. But it was a good place to find, like I said, they did have some treasure, but you had to get tetanus first.
Yeah.
So I know enough to get me in trouble. It's like, man, I could flip that for a profit.
Right.
But I also end up either A, keeping it, or B, I try to flip it for a profit, and then I lose my ass on it. Like I picked up a record.
Cost
I
on
was like, oh
shipping.
man. Yeah, and then she lived on Army base, so I had to pay custom shipping, and it was like it was more than what the record cost. I was like, well, just lost it on that one. So I'm like, I can't flip for profit anymore. I just suck.
I had that problem for a really long time, and that up until the point when now, like with Whatnot, since I have the ability to do live auctions, like that's so easy for me to get rid of stuff now. It just like kind of simplified my life. Like eBay, like it's too much work. I'd rather just keep it. So it was always like, oh look, wife, I got this cool thing that is worth XYZ. I'm gonna just sell it on eBay. So don't worry about it, but it's going in the garage and you're gonna forget about it in a week. And that would happen. And so yeah, I don't know, man. I have that same affliction. I want to get stuff and then I realize how cool it is, and then I keep it with the intention.
Like, bro, I like collecting VHS as well, right?
That's an interesting thing to collect.
It's great because people are literally giving these things away.
Yeah.
But in the right market, people are paying big money for the right cassettes.
Like I know the Disney, there's like certain Disney ones that are like ultra expensive, and a lot of horror VHS are really expensive too.
Yes. Yeah. And then you got your specialty ones. Like I picked up a whole lot of, it was like 50 VHS. Well, the Goodwill auction I was telling you about, right? I paid $30 for the whole lot, right? It ended up costing me like $80 to get it here. You know, I'm like, Jesus. Yeah, but like it has the original Mario Brothers movie in it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
that's a terrible movie.
That's $25, man. All day,
really?
Yeah. People eat it up.
That's wild,
dude. I bought some stuff off. It was that lady in Pataskala, Sean. I was going to have you pick up $10 for a whole box of movies. She had
that's cool.
CKY 2K, right? Remember CKY?
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Bro, that's like a $50 VHS all day, every day.
That's crazy.
And she's like, yeah, it's in the box. Like, people just give VHS away because they think it's a dead technology. My VCR behind me determines that's a lie because I watch them on 58 inches. Like, yeah. And you don't have to worry about them getting scratched. Like, you got to wear them out. But if you drop it, you're not like, well, that ruined that one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Dude, you got the cover arts and different cover arts with different years. It's different money. Like, that is bro, it's almost like having two pop figures with, different runs, but because one has like the Super Shredder, like you said, the two different sets of eyes is a completely different set of figure. That's the same with the VHS. So like I have a copy of They Live, They Live, right?
Yeah.
I have the original run of the VHS cases that is just like him with his shades down. It says like They Live, Well, then they redid the case. Well, the one that I have it's like a $15 movie. It's not like crazy expensive, but it's better than the $3 one that they have. That's the all white case. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm sure you could find it at like a flea market or something for $1.
Yeah, and that's what I do. I go to flea markets. I go to antique stores.
They're indoor flea markets.
Yeah, and if people have like chairs and all that other random stuff in there, and then they have like a box of VHS in the corner, those are those are the honey holes, man. You get in there, and then that's when you find the CKYs or the Mario Brothers movies, stuff that nobody cares about. But if they have them all nice and crisp and in a sleeve, looking all
Nope.
pretty, it's like they know what they got.
That's really interesting. You talk about that. So about like, there's different runs of the case and stuff. I was going through the games for that auction I did the other night, and I had a copy of Mike Tyson's Punch Out. Right. So I didn't know there is 3 versions of that game. All right. So there is the normal Mike Tyson's Punch Out. There is the version that has there's 3 bullet points on the front. I don't know. It's like good punching, knockout guys don't fall down, or whatever the description is. But if it has white bullet points, it's worth $10 more than the regular version. And then there's a third version that has, if you flip it over, like most Nintendo games have 3 screws that are holding the game together. If it's a 5-screw game, it goes from being a $50 game to an $800 game.
Jeez.
Yeah, like that's stuff that like you wouldn't know, and I didn't know that. And I'm like an avid like retro gaming collector, and I was like looking through, and I just had them type it in. And I looked on the little price charting thing, and it's like, oh, there's 3 different ones, and I was like, well, that's $800. Why for 5 screws? There's no reason. It's the same game. I think it's the same game anyway.
So do you do any like original Game Boy, like DMG?
So I do have a bunch of original Game Boy stuff. I have a couple of Fat Boys, like the thick ones, the big old white ones, the first ones that came out. I had those, and then I have an okay size collection. Not a whole lot of games, just because I had a Game Boy growing up, but I think I've since gotten rid of those games. And like occasionally, if I can get a good deal on like a lot of games, I will. But I don't so much like go out and hunt for those, because it's fairly it's easier to emulate those on something like a PSP or like even your phone or something like that, and you get better quality, because it's really hard. You gotta like get the angle just right, unless you have like a modded backlit screen. But I think I have a few. I have a copy of Mega Man 4, which is like ultra hard to find for Game Boy. I think that's the only like worthwhile game I even have.
That's dope. Yeah, I picked up my DMG at Salvation Army for like $20. Like in a box. They were just like had it thrown in with electronics. Dude, it's still gray. It's not like that yellow. Yeah. It has a little bit of lines in the screen, but they're on the sides, so you can't even like really tell.
Yeah, for sure.
Dude, $20, and then, bro, I picked up like 20 games for like
nothing,
$15. Yeah. They just and I'm like, oh man, this is cool.
Yeah.
I knew retro and cartridge, like that's my extent. One day I want every console. Like that's my ultimate end game goal. But God, it's expensive.
So like for me, I've had a lot of consoles, and right now I have like all the mainstream ones. The only one I don't have is the Sega Saturn, which is like one of my favorite consoles, which is kind of weird because there wasn't a ton of really good games, but there's a handful that were just awesome. But it's more of a nostalgia thing. I don't have that, but what I'm hunting for right now, there's 2 that I'm looking for. I'm trying to find a Neo Geo MVS home system and a TurboGrafx 16. Those 2 are the ones that I want so bad, because they have some of the absolute just best games that have ever come out. And the MVS is literally just an arcade cabinet, but it's like condensed down into like a console. They're so good.
Yeah, it's funny because our buddy James, guy brought in a Sega Saturn on trade one day. He said he was sitting at the store one day because. Now, do you do trade-in any vintage toys in your store?
Okay, that's a complicated thing. So we do trade-ins. I try my very best to stay away from vintage, and here's why. Where we are located at, there used to be a vintage toy store here that moved down like a mile down the road. And as the day after they moved out is when we signed our lease. So there was like no real gap. And I don't want to compete with those guys because I like them a lot. And I'll go ahead and plug them now, if that's okay with you guys.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, dude.
They're called Empire Toys. They are in Keller, Texas.
Cool.
I don't think they have a website up right now, but you can look them up on Facebook, Empire Toys. Really cool guys, awesome. And that's like the stuff that you guys are into is what they have. Like they have lots of like 80s and 90s stuff. Like they have lots and lots of Ninja Turtle stuff, Transformers. They have some really like wild things. Like they have the original like Castle Grayskull that's like in box down there.
Nice.
They have some really, and then they carry Funko stuff, and then they carry some newer stuff like Star Wars Black Series and Marvel Legends. So that being said, I don't like to even like mess with even the only thing vintage I'll do is like Pokemon cards, like because that's not something that they handle. But the only kind of crossover we have is like Funko, because you know everybody sells Funko because it's so easy.
Right. I
But,
mean, I'll
yeah.
sell you my Funko right now. I got like 9 of them. I'll sell them to
Bro.
you.
Oh my god. After we answer this, I have a story about that. But anyway, yeah. So no, we don't do trade-ins for that stuff, but we do trade-ins for a lot of other stuff, just not vintage toys.
Yeah. So how they do it is they take all vintage stuff in their store, and they'll give trade, but then he'll trade it to other guys in like his little like friends network that's selling that stuff and get toys. So he's using it as, you know, a
It's
currency.
collateral.
Yeah, dude. And I'm like, man, I couldn't do that. I'd be keeping it all. Like, ooh, look at it. Like, bro, he's talking about playing a Sega Saturn. Like,
Yeah.
I want that. That was literally our last episode. I'm like, hey, man, what are you going to do with that? Like, I want it. Because, like I said, I'm trying to get, you know, every console just because it's
for
cool.
sure.
But, yeah, man, God, I love being old.
Right? So you're talking about trade-ins. I had a lady just contact me that she was like, hey, I'm trying to get rid of most of my Funko collection. Would you guys be interested? And I was like, oh yeah, for sure. She's like, there's a lot of older stuff in there, hard to find things. It's not a lot of like commons. I was like, yeah, that sounds great. Just send it to me. There's an app called Pop Price Guide, so you can like scan all your collection and it has it in like one place, and you can send that to people. So I told her, I was like, hey, put in a list on Pop Price Guide and send it to me and let me look at it. She sent it to me. I got it, and I was like, okay, let's look and see what she has there. She had $10,000 worth of stuff.
Holy
Jesus.
crap!
I was like, oh man, there's so much stuff in there that I want. It would sell so fast in the store, but I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna have to. I don't have that kind of money on hand right now. Oh gosh, but yeah,
Dude, you should have hit her with the old Pawn Stars. Best I can do is $80, man. Hit him like a old game.
I got to make a profit. You just don't
You know what?
understand. It'll sit here and
it won't sit though. That's the thing that's hard is like it will sell immediately. There's some like ultra rare stuff in there. Like the biggest piece in that collection is like Jax Teller from Motorcycle Bandit Club. What's it called?
Son of Anarchy.
Sons of Anarchy. There we go. It's that one in some special clothes. I've never seen that show before, but he it's like an exclusive. It's like almost a $500 pop.
wow.
And yeah, and I had one of our patrons. He came in today and he picked up. We're doing some mystery boxes right now, and so he came in to pick those up, and I showed him, and he was like, "Dude, if you get that, I will give you money right now." I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I can't afford it." But like the way we do ours, like we give like 48% of what the current value is, which is not terrible if you think about the fact that like if you were to sell it on eBay yourself, you're gonna lose about 24%, and then on top of that, it's like $10,000 collection, so then you're gonna have to report that to old government, and you know it's a whole thing. So I mean, it's not terrible. We give better prices than most people, but man,
Not if you take
even 48% on that, it's like almost
Yeah.
$5,000. I was like, I don't have just $5,000 sitting around. If I didn't want to pay rent, sure.
I mean, but if you think about it, if you can flip it fast enough,
Yep,
you can pay your rent fast.
well, I don't know. I could not 15 days fast, so I don't know, man. It's the thing is my wife and I were talking about it, and we're trying to figure out like logistically how does this work. Maybe she'll let me split it into like 2 purchases or something, but it's I don't know. It's a battle.
I know, because dude, like I said, I started picking up pops that I thought were cool, right? That's how it starts. That's how it starts for everybody. Well, then like I saw, I'm sure you heard of it, Pop in a Box.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
I got some Pop in a Box, and I can only take so many friggin' Fortnite pops. Like I'm done. So I stopped doing that because I literally, bro, I have so many Fortnite pops. Like I just give them to little kids as I walk by. Like here, watch, like get out of here. But then like like there's so many cool ones I want, dude. Like I saw on one of your videos earlier, you had the Tanjiro fighting the spider demon, like the big
Rui
pop
or
they had.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I'm a pretty big Demon Hunter fan, and I'm like,
really?
you're a Demon Slayer, and I'm like, oh God, like that's dope. Like I want those, but then I look at the price. It's like, well, for that I could buy, you know, a couple complete figures or like a sick NECA piece, or like I just can't. Like my shredder that I got, I had a a Green Ranger pop picked out and a Toka pop picked out. I had them on the counter. I'm like, these two pops are the same price as that shredder in the corner. Like, I'm gonna go with the shredder because it's cooler, it's neat, and so I have a hard time with pops, just buying them personally. But
so like so that one that you're talking about, the Anime Moments one, we actually have it cheaper than like I think most people do. Because I think it's going right now about $50, but I think it's like 30, it may 30 or 35 in the store. So it's a lot cheaper than like most people have them. But I totally get that. There's certain ones that I most pops personally, I would not spend crazy amounts of money on. And that's I've been collecting since 2013. So I'm kind of a long-term Funko collector. The only things that are exception to that are wrestling pops, because I am a huge wrestling fan. Like that is the one thing, that's my vice right there. And not that expands past Funko. If it's like a belt, if it's like something like a figure that's like signed, I will pay whatever money somebody's asking, because I have to have that kind of stuff. And I don't know why. It's just like a new thing, but I'm ultra, like I've loved wrestling forever, but like buying like wrestling collectibles, that's like a new addiction for me.
so okay, I'm glad you brought that up because I found a random toy store. I was working yesterday, and I was driving through this town, and I said, "Oh God, like there's a toy store right there." So I stop, bust the UE, come back in. I walk in there, dude. It's small. It's nothing crazy. A lot of comics, right? Excuse me. But I go in the back, and obviously you heard of about old Razor Ramon, old Scott Hall passing. Yeah. In the case is the original Razor Ramon action figure on card. Crisp, bro. I'm talking there's not a bend in this thing. Just,
oh my God.
$300. And I'm like,
I would have bust out the credit card. I wouldn't even thought about it. It would have been one fluid movement throwing my wallet at that person.
Dude, it was glorious. And I'm like, imagine what that's worth today. Like when he priced that and put it in the case, it was $300. And then in the last 24 hours, that piece probably doubled. Just because it's the original figure on card with corners. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's, you don't find that, especially wrestling figures. It's really hard to find like mint wrestling figures unless it's like somebody bought out like a KB Toys when they closed and they just had a bunch of stuff. So we have a Razor Ramon pop up front that's autographed with a COA. And I had to pull it out of the case today because I felt like a dirty person. Even like we've had it in there for probably like 2 months. And I just felt like, oh man, I can't sell this to anybody because I don't want to be perceived as like a vulture or something like that. But dude, I even if it goes up, man, I would run back there and spend that money. I love wrestling stuff for sure.
I do, dude. I picked up just 10. It was like 10 renders, like Jack Specific, 90s. I picked up 10, and then dude, it's like X-Pac and Triple H and Shawn Michaels and Kane.
Were any of them the sweaty ones?
I don't know. I just put them on my shelf because they look cool, man.
They're called like extreme sweaters or something like that. And you in the back, you like pour water in them, and then it leaks out of their body like they're sweating.
I don't know. I'll dig into them. I'll dig into them when we're done, man. I'll let you know if I have any sweaty men.
Dude, I love the sweaty men. I don't know what to say. It's intimate hugs and sweaty men. That's my passion.
But dude, so like, and you remember Sable, obviously.
Yeah.
All right.
Brock Lesnar's wife.
Yeah, I know. I was like, hey, Brock Lesnar, I got your wife naked on my shelf right now, just in case you were curious. Yeah. So I a couple weeks ago, I found the Sable, like her first run through Playboy.
Oh.
Like, I was like, ooh. I was like, I always wanted one of these, and my mom said no. I said, but I'm an adult now, so I can buy it,
Hold on, why
Yeah.
were you asking your mom for Playboys as a child?
Because it was Sable, bro. I was trying.
I would never ask my parents for that. You must have a much different relationship with your parents than I do with mine.
Bro, I was determined to see titties. Okay, like I was 15. Just want to see
anything.
I'll do anything for it, Mom. I'll clean the
I said,
room,
Mom,
please.
can I have this? She said, no. Like, what is wrong with you? I was like,
I want it for the articles, Mom.
Yeah.
I love reading about.
Dude, I'll tell you right now, if I could find the Pam Anderson, Dan Aykroyd Coneheads Playboy and
Was
any
that a
kind of
thing?
flea market, yes.
Was Dan
It is
Aykroyd naked in it?
No,
No.
he was dressed. He was dressed in his Coneheads get up, right?
Right.
And he's sitting in a chair. This is the cover, and then it's got Pam Anderson on the side, bro. It is 90s to the core, right? On the
Big
cover.
old hair.
It goes for like $500, bro.
What?
Just for some sticky pages, $500.
That's like really gross on a lot of, not the sticky pages, like that's its own thing, but just like I don't
Getting someone else's. Yeah.
I don't want that. Like nothing about me. Okay, like I get the appeal of wanting to have it. I don't want to think that this material has been used by most likely lots of people. Maybe I'll get it graded, send it off, get that thing graded so I can never touch it or open it. Then I'll be like, okay with it.
But, yeah, I'll let you borrow it sometime if you want, just to peruse.
I'm fine. I'm fine.
I'll get you the digital copy.
The digital, yeah. You're gonna scan it for historical purposes.
Fax it over to you.
Right. Dude, I'm saving that. I'm saving that for when the world ends, so we can like book of Eli, and I'm just gonna travel around the barren wasteland with
all the internet's down, but I do have this Sable
with a creative
Playboy.
pornography.
I got this Sable Playboy.
That's the one.
What are you buying? What are you selling?
Big old trench coat.
Yeah. I'll buy that at a high price.
I like it.
God, we're idiots. Anyway, so, but yeah, I'll check out for your sweaty men when we get done here.
Let me know.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm not okay with having sweaty men on my shelf.
No. Well, I mean, if it's in the package, then it's not gonna sweat everywhere.
Oh, that's fair.
Oh well.
All right. So, I must say, the fact that we met at random,
yes,
and I was just like, "Hey, bro, you want to talk, toys?" And you're like, "Hey, I'm an old guy too, so I like old stuff." So that was cool, and I'm glad I came across your, random TikToks and stuff, because you have a very what's the word I'm looking for? Seductive video voice, and it draws you in. Yeah, dude. When I saw the way you were handling your boxes.
Oh
yeah. When you were making your mystery boxes. So, what are those mystery boxes?
Oh, the ones so those are. We did some mystery boxes for The Office. If you're an Office fan, and so they're actually really cool. I did another video today. Somebody got a hit in one in the store. So the way it is, they're like $25, and there's 2 pops in there, and one of them is guaranteed to be an Office pop, and the other one is just like a random one. And then we did 95 total boxes. Wow. So then out of those 95, there's 5 autographs that come with JSA COAs, and then there is a couple of $high ones, and then there is a Holy Grail piece for Office collectors that's in there. So it's the 3-hole punch gym. And it's like $135, $140 pop, depending on the day. So, and it's only $25, and you could potentially get, like, all the autographs are worth about $100 to $120. So we do those once a month. We'll do a mystery box. This one is slow going because it's The Office. It's very niche. But like the previous one we did was just like $15, and you have a potential to pull. We tend to do like the big hit item is always like an autograph. So the one we did last month was the number 1 item in there was Stimpy from Ren and Stimpy.
Cool.
Oh, okay.
But it was signed by Billy West, and it came with a certificate. So like that's a lot of people were really hyped about that, just because he does the voice of like Fry and like a ton of other people on Futurama. He's been in a ton of TV shows. So like we always do something like that, and we like to build these mystery boxes so they're really fair. And we kind of do a theme. Like the last one wasn't really themed, but the ones we've done in the past have been like, we'll do like an anime one or one that's like movies or cartoons or something like that. And we always try to make sure that like the value in those is as close to what you're paying as possible. We either do those or we'll do like a Fail or Grail mystery box where it's like, oh, you're going to pay $15 and you're either going to get something that's worth pretty close to $15 or you're going to get something that's worth like $50 or $75.
That's cool.
Yeah, I really like to do those. And then we'll also do, so if you guys know what chases are, like in the Funko world. Okay, so I hate the fact that like you have to fight people. You'll go to the store and first person there, they get the chase, and then everybody else is kind of left without. So whenever we get items in the store, like for instance, like the Naruto Hokage, right? So that was one of them, or Cobb Vanth from Mandalorian. So like those two have really sought after chases. And so what I do whenever I get those in the store is I'll blind box those and we will sell them, and there'll be 6 of them, and you buy one, and if it's the chase, congrats, you got the chase for the same price that somebody's going to pay for the common. So I try to really like equal things out whenever we do our stuff like that. So cool. But yeah, the one that you saw in the videos, those were all the office stuff.
Cool. Yeah, because I know. So now, because you do online sales too, right?
Yeah, we have a website. I'm going to plug the website right now, pcatoys.com. Go buy lots and lots of stuff.
We'll make sure we put a link.
I'm really
to that.
bad about it. I'm going to tell you. Okay, so my background is, so I went to school for network security, so like penetration testing, ethical hacking kind of thing.
Penetration.
So that's what I did forever, and I realized I hated that job, and then I switched over to, I went back to school for web design.
Oh,
so
nice.
My background is like web design, like search engine optimization, UI UX design. I have like this weird like conglomeration of like lots of things. So my day job is I'm a web developer. That being said, I am horrible at adding things to our website. I don't. Today I forced myself to sit down and I added all of our magic stuff that we had in the store, and I was so proud of myself. But we do have a website. I occasionally put things on it, like the mystery boxes and stuff go on there, but we don't do a ton of sales on it just because I'm not good at that. But I think that's because I have to work 2 jobs and I get tired of touching a computer.
But anyone could call you at any point like, hey, I want to find this figure and I want to know if you guys have it.
Yes, 100%. We get those calls. We probably get 5 or 6 of those a day because people, our inventory turns over so fast. I buy like between 3 to 6 collections a week, and they're usually smaller ones, but we'll have brand new stuff that comes in, and everything that we carry. We're not like a lot of the other like Funko shops that you'll go into where it's literally just like tons and tons and tons of the same stuff, or just stuff that you don't want. Like the things that we have are, I make sure the stuff that we're buying is stuff that people want. So it's like Star Wars, horror, Marvel.
You might be getting a call from me. Cool.
Yeah, that's it. Well, I'm going to do that. Yeah. But yeah, so that's it, and we do get stuff new in all the time, so we get lots and lots of calls.
So what I heard in that whole spiel was I now have my plug for my Power Rangers Funkos that I have been searching for the original 6. So hey,
I have 2 Power Rangers autograph pops in the store right now.
Oh, which ones? You shouldn't have said that.
So they're not the original actors that are signing. But one of them I think is the original yellow. Yeah, the Yellow Ranger. Dude, so I have that one, but it's not signed by her. It's not signed by her. It's signed by one of the newer voice actors or the newer actors, but it's the original pop.
Okay.
And then with the pink one, I think it's the girl that was in the new movie. She signed it.
Okay.
But cool. I don't have them certified yet by JSA. I have to get somebody from JSA because I don't like to sell anything signed unless I have a certificate of authenticity with it, because I don't want that to come back and bite us. But I do have those 2. And then also if you do like Power Ranger stuff, I don't know, have you ever seen the Power Rangers that came in like a triangle box?
Mm-hmm.
So I have the White Ranger and the Green Ranger in that, and I think they were, those are cool. I really dig those.
That's his favorite.
So to give you an idea, Piper, about how much I love my Rangers.
Oh no.
This is
Oh,
my
that's
Lord
amazing.
Zed. My Lord Zed
love
helmet.
It's so badass. It looks so good.
I'm actually
did-
on the hunt this weekend for my Megazord. I've already pre-ordered my the Lightning. What the hell is it called? Whatever the Hasbro Lightning collection or whatever it is.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
There's a like a 144th Megazord coming. It's like massive, and it's got the little Rangers in the head and stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's like $165, so he's already on pre-order.
Nice.
So that's pretty cool. But then,
is it a Hasbro Pulse item?
Yes.
Okay, yeah,
Yes.
I know exactly which one you're talking about.
Yeah, dude, and we were talking about it, waiting on you to get over here and stuff.
Yeah,
it pulses. It owns they own my childhood. Just looking at all that, I'm like, good God, man! Like they got so much cool stuff here.
Yeah, Hasbro's taking a lot of my money,
dude. So I'm not the biggest like Transformers collector. Like I love Transformers. Like I grew up, that was like one of my favorite things. But when Hasbro Pulse, when they announced that crowdfunding for the big giant I can't remember, the big planet man, the Orson Welles voiced in the movie. I can't think what his name was. Was it Omicron?
I'll be honest with you, I was more of a GoBots kind of guy.
Oh no.
I'm just kidding.
Yes, it is Omicron.
So
he's like a planet. Like he transforms into a planet. And Hasbro Pulse, they crowdfunded this guy, and he stood like 3 feet tall. And I wanted it so bad, but it was like, I don't know, like $400 or something like that.
That's how I feel right now too. Yep.
Yeah, I'll send you guys a picture of it just so you can see. It's like the most wild looking thing ever, and it came with a stand. And oh man, it's so good. Plus Orson Welles, right? Like why not?
Yeah, Orson Welles is awesome. Yeah, Hasbro's crowdfunded a new Proton pack that I wanted to throw down for because I'm obsessed with Ghostbusters, and I was like, that is way. It's like more like movie realistic, and I'm just like, yep, I want that. And yeah, it's the same thing. It's like $500. I'm like, nope, that's can't do that.
Priorities, man.
Yeah,
that's totally.
We were talking about when we decided we were going to the toy show this weekend. We had this plan a month ago, like we're gonna have so much money, we're gonna buy all the cool things we wanted, and here it is, 2 days before, and I'm like, Sean, I got like maybe $100, bro.
Yeah, both of us, like between us, it's pretty bad. It's just like, dude, between the like gas prices and just life stuff and just everything just crapping out. Dude, this poor man got like $600 ripped out of his checking account because his account got hacked. I'm like, what? Dude, if I got $600 ripped out of my account right now, I'd be screwed. Like,
did they not give it back to you?
No, bro, that's why I'm so PO'd about it.
Apparently somebody side tangent. Somebody got me with a scanner and made a copy of my damn debit card.
Right.
When like the gas pump.
Yep.
And bro, when I put my PIN in and everything, they literally copied my card.
Yep.
And took $600 cash. And my bank's like, yeah. I'm like, that wasn't me. And they're like, yeah, can't prove it. I'm like, oh.
Because were they local?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it was. Yeah, that's the big thing.
Like a lot harder.
Yeah, because they're like, well, it says that it was, pulled out. It's just like 10 minutes down the road from where it was pulled out. And I'm like, oh, that wasn't me. And they're like, well, can't prove that it wasn't you. I'm like, the fact that I'm calling you saying, hey, I didn't take out $600, and it was weird because it was 2 transactions. It was like one to see if it worked.
Yeah.
And then the second one was like, ha, it worked, and then they did it again. Dude, the only thing I got was an alert. It was like, it's like, hey, your withdrawal from your bank account has went through. And I'm like, what? I was like,
oh no, stop now.
Stop. What do you mean it went through? Dude, I immediately called my bank like, hey, this just happened. And they're like, yeah, that sucks. I'm like, dude.
Sorry.
So now I strictly pay cash for every bit of gas that I get now. Like I don't swipe my card at a pump. If I can't tap it, I ain't touching it. Like
I was going to say,
my
if you
card
use
does
the
not
tap, it's a
swipe.
lot. The NFC is a lot more secure than like swiping it, but like they can
Yeah.
still grab you that way too.
Yeah,
but,
it's
that
cash.
sucks.
It's cash. I go, I pull my cash out, and old greenbacks, baby. I don't do no more of that. Dude, and it's always one of those things like that'll never happen to me. You know,
Right.
and it happened to me. And then, of course, it was the week before the damn toy show. So I
Yeah,
can't
of
buy
course.
nothing cool, you know. So
See, that happened to me before, but like I got a call from our bank. Chase was like, "Hey, are you trying to buy some software to set up like a call center?" Like, why would I be wanting to set up a call center? Where was this purchase? They're like, New Delhi, and I was like, "No, it's not me. That's people in India stole my card." They're like,
Right.
"Okay, we thought so, but we just wanted to make sure you didn't like let somebody." No, I didn't let someone go get my money back. Well, just the amount that it cost, like I did not have that much money in my account because I was in college. You're lucky if I had like $400 in my account. They're trying to spend like $2,000 on some like phone call center software.
Dude, that's like my buddy got hit for his account. They were on vacation. They got his card while he was on vacation, and when he they caught it because he used his card when he's in like Pennsylvania or something like that.
Right.
And then immediately after that, his card was used again in Florida, like within like 20 minutes of each other. Yeah, and they're like, that's not right. So he got his back, but apparently because mine was, like I said, local, bro. And I felt like they just like swept me under the rug too. They're like, oh, this guy's trying to just get money type deal.
Yeah.
So.
That's
yep. But
go sell some plasma. You can get like $200.
Yeah. I'll be seeing you like, what happened? You're just fainted. Oh God.
I'm just walking around with some apple juice and a cookie.
I needed money for toys, so I sold my inside juice.
I don't know how many times that's happened to me with Chase. They're like, yeah, someone like they were like pretty good about it too. It looked like I bought something off Amazon, which I didn't. And there was a transaction of like $250, and they even like sent something to my house. It was like a clear plastic crappy Jansport bag that's normally like $20. I'm like, I didn't spend like $200 on this book bag. They're like, yeah, that's bad. Here you go. And I'm like, when he told me that, I'm like, dude, I'd be livid.
Yeah, it definitely depends on your bank. Like, there's a big difference, like from like local banks versus like someone like Chase. Like,
yeah,
we've had good luck. I've only had my card stolen like once or twice, but you know, it's like a real thing. Like I said, I used to work in network security, so like I'm very, I understand all like it's just craziness, like all the stuff that happens.
It's only getting worse and worse.
Can we talk about the fact that there's 3 grown men talking about how many times we've had our identity stolen?
Like, not all the way stolen, just the money.
Yeah.
What kind of like world are we living in? We're like, bro, we just want action figures, and y'all is just robbing mofo.
Technology just ruined everything, man. Just stick us back into the 80s and 90s.
I feel like this adequately describes this.
Yes, it's so true. Everything's fine.
This is fun. This is fine, dog. This is pretty awesome. Like these guys. Have you guys ever seen these before?
No.
The dumpster. Yeah. They're called dumpster fires. It's made by a company called 100% Soft. Dude that owns these is awesome. His name's Truck Torrance, and he also works for Marvel. He does all of Marvel's like iOS stickers. Like, have you guys ever seen the Marvel like chibi stickers that you can buy? So he designs all those. Same guy.
Okay.
But yeah, this is his vinyl toy that he makes. It's a dumpster fire, and they're all super cute. And then this is fine one.
I like it.
That's sweet.
Yeah, this is the kind of stuff we sell.
I like it.
Now, can we get one custom made that just has like your life on it, Sean? That'd be pretty cool. Just like have some goats and like a horse.
Oh, come on. My life's not that bad.
No, I'm just playing with you. You got a pretty good gig.
Thanks.
I don't know. That sounds, like I said, too much work. It sounds too hard.
I don't know. I kind of like it, man.
What do you farm?
We nothing.
Nothing. Just dirt.
It's
just
it's
put dirt in
mostly
bags.
it's mostly like a lot of expensive lawn ornaments. Like I live on a farm. I love
That's
to
not
live
a
out in the middle of
farm?
nowhere. Yeah, exactly. Like we've got okay. So we do raise goats. I
Nice.
can't talk crap about my goats. My wife is
I like goats.
yeah, exactly. So
They're cool.
she's raised like at the most we had at one point there was like I think we had 15 baby goats at one point, and I can't talk crap about it because that damn near paid for 90% of our wedding. So
wow.
there is profit in there.
Mhm.
But we ran into some problems with the winter and having a kid and her going to police training and stuff like that. So stuff gets put on hold, but it definitely can rake in some money. And the rest of it, like the horses and the pigs and chickens and dogs and whatever.
This is a traditional farm. This is not like you're a farmer like growing like wheat.
No, I'm not growing anything. Nope. It's
Okay.
mostly just like what do you call it? Just like a
It's like livestock.
hobbyist. Yeah, just like livestock / hobbyist. Like I like being secluded away from everybody and
Like a hermit.
yeah, pretty much.
Nice. My uncle, he lives in Arkansas, and he has a farm, kind of in the same sense that you do. He has like horses and other nefarious animals, and but he sells. Did you say you sell cement lawn ornaments?
No.
Oh, I thought you said lawn ornaments.
I was making a joke. They're like the animals are expensive lawn ornaments.
Oh,
like
my uncle legit sells like cement, like bird baths and gnomes and stuff.
Gotcha.
And he also runs a U-Haul out of his backyard. Like he has like 4 U-Haul trucks.
That's funny.
That's awesome.
That's Arkansas, dude. That's just Arkansas. Everybody in Arkansas, you got to sell cement lawn ornaments or run a U-Haul business.
That's rural Ohio too. That's like right where I live too. I love it.
I think this is like
drive
everywhere.
Drive past the house and there's just like 500 block O's in somebody's yard for Ohio State, and various sizes. Out by Sean, there's literally a place that sells nothing but concrete Sasquatch
and
in
wood.
various sizes.
We'll cut down trees to make There's a guy like down the road. He will like professionally take a chainsaw and just like make a badass like Bigfoot out of
like
chainsaw.
Those are cool, like chainsaw sculptures. Those are awesome,
yeah,
man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're really badass. But yeah, because here, like I live in Hocking Hills, Logan, Ohio. And
what's your address?
I'm not saying. But we like we have our own Bigfoot. He's called the Ohio Grassman. So there's a lot of Bigfoot culture around here.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
The Grassman.
Yeah.
Dude, there's so that place I was telling you about is in like this flea market. This dude literally has like an 8-foot like cement poured. Like, how are you going to transport if somebody bought an 8-foot
hollow though?
No, it's like
I don't think so. He's pretty stout. Like,
I've seen it.
8 feet tall. That thing has to be like how many hundreds of pounds?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, first off, how did you get it there? And second, if I want to buy it, how are you going to get it to Columbus?
Does he take it home like
at least 300 pounds? Because you're talking about the outside flea market they do every weekend during the night. Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, he said it weighs like 300 pounds. Yeah, it's like 8 foot tall. It's massive.
That has to be more than 300.
Oh, it's
not like a full size like
it's
like barrel chested Sasquatch. I mean,
it's tall.
Bro, it's dope.
I mean, if you think about it, like cinder blocks are kind of light, but it's like he's like, it's about like 20 cinder blocks worth.
But who needs
it's huge? It's dope. I do. I want it right in the middle of my yard, in the middle of Columbus. Like,
well, you know what? My yard is not big enough. Like, I can like lay down and touch like the sidewalk from my we do not have yards here, because, well, I don't know why. It's stupid. I hate it.
Yeah, see, I have like a little half acre. Sean sits on like 38.
Yep, 38 acres.
Sean's got some property out by his place.
That's like when we lived in Waco, our backyard was a quarter of an acre, like in town, which is like kind of crazy. But like we could have put like a giant swimming pool and a hot tub and like a playground in our backyard. We didn't, but I mean, it was possible.
Yeah, so take that yard you had and double it, and that's my yard.
Yeah, that's wild.
So that would totally fit a freaking 8-foot Bigfoot.
Yeah, out here we're always talking because we've got it's like half pasture, half woods. So we've cut like a whole bunch of Jeep off-road trails in the woods and got plenty enough for the animals and stuff. So we're like, dude, we could put like a rally cross track over here, and we could put a 2-acre pond over here.
Why not, right?
Yeah, screw it.
Well, because we buy toys. That's why doing those things.
That's too funny. I like it.
Oh, man.
Actually, yeah. Speaking of
At least
toys,
it's not drugs.
yeah, I know, right? So you're into the 80s and 90s, and I have to ask everyone now to see if you recognize these, because both Tiny and I ordered these. Unfortunately, his never came because he moved addresses and stuff. Do you recognize this figure?
Back up just a little bit, Sean. There you go.
I feel like I do. I don't know though.
Have you ever seen the movie?
Is that Ultraman?
No. Have you ever seen Psycho Gorman? So
Need to see this movie. Pronto.
They're made by a company called Plastic Meatball. They're a fan based, or kind of like a what the hell is it called?
So like bootleg figures.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, they make, they're just custom pieces that they have made. Right. We ordered these things like 2 years ago, and they finally
decided to send them.
Just arrived like last month. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Those are really cool though. No, I've never heard of that movie.
You have to watch. I think it's streamable on something right now, but dude, Psycho Gorman is just the monsters in the movie are like very 90s Mighty Morphin Power Ranger type monsters, and like super killer 80s 90s soundtrack, and
like,
just over the top gore. Yeah, like Ultraman style.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I like. I like that. I watched that more than I did like Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Well,
same, like VR Troopers.
First.
Yeah.
I mean, all Saban did was just dub them. Like, same thing.
Yeah.
That and like Kamen Rider. Did y'all ever watch that?
Yeah, dude, Kamen. Oh my god, I need to write that down because I completely forgot about Kamen Rider.
That's been running for forever. I don't know if I think it was probably pre Power Rangers. I'm not 100% sure. I believe it is.
The Power Rangers came in the late 80s from Japan. So I'm thinking,
because I think they debuted in the US in 91.
Right.
That's when we got it.
And they were like 3 or 4 years behind. They took it from Japan. But that's like all the VR Troopers, Battleborgs.
Kamen Rider actually, it debuted April 3rd, 1971.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was that old.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, Japan was way ahead of its time, but if you think about it and you look back at the Godzillas and the it's literally the same thing.
All the kaiju movies. Yeah.
Yeah. So good.
So back to Pops, like I've yet to own any Pops yet, but
you want me to send you one?
Yeah.
You want me to send you one?
Maybe.
I will just mail you one.
I have some in mind that I want to get,
right.
and I've been holding out to this big toy and game show that we're going to, and hoping to find some there. What are your most favorite Pop collectibles?
Wrestling. That was
just
easy.
wrestling. Okay.
No, okay. So my personal collection is, I have anime. I have lots of I'm almost 100% complete on the WWE line, which is like 92 or something like that. And then I collect Freddy Funkos, which is the Funko mascot. So they'll do stuff like with him where he's like in cosplay. So like, it's like there's Chucky, from Child's Play Freddy, and there's Basketball Freddy. So I do those, but they're like, that's the worst thing to collect because they're so expensive. Because they're usually limited numbers, like limited production numbers. So that's my stuff, is like, so wrestling and anime is going to be like the most common thing. And then Marvel.
Okay.
I think, honestly, Sean, they made quite a bit of them as far as I can see, as far as I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
Like your Ghostbusters ones aren't that far out of reach, man.
I have some Ghostbuster stuff here.
Yeah, I might have
here,
to.
After we get done recording this, I can switch over to my phone and I can give you guys a little tour of the shop so you guys can look and see what.
Oh, that'd be dope.
That'd be sweet.
Thing is about.
I'm really looking for like, I'm obsessed with trying to look for all the Gravity Falls right now because I love that show. That's a show my daughter and I, my 2-year-old, both watch, and I think she would really love the Gravity Falls. So I'm gonna try.
I know that we have Dipper.
Sweet.
And Mabel, and maybe the Mabel Corn Mabel too.
Okay. Yeah, I would love to have the like original Mabel and Dipper for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So
the Dipper's not super expensive, but he also had a chase too. There's like a variant.
Yeah,
where
the
he
glow in the dark one.
Yeah, there's that one.
Yeah.
All this useless knowledge is in my brain.
I just love how it radiates. You know what I mean? Like he just like pop. He just like it's like some $6 million man. It's just like
dude, we've got our own things. Like my stuff is Ghostbusters. You've got your wrestling and your Ninja Turtles. So
like my I have super ADHD, right? Like I like ultra fixate on certain things, like and it's weird things. So like when I was in like high school, I could tell you the engine code from every Honda Civic from 1988 to like 2002. So
yes,
like if you
told me like
Jeeps. There you go. What body style is it? And then I could tell you. I can't do it now. I push that out so I can put toy information in my brain. But it's like, dude, it's like a superpower and a curse all at once.
Yep. That's how I am with Jeeps. Really bad.
Cherokees. I knew.
I got a Jeep.
Yeah. Ooh. What kind of Jeep you got?
Silver.
Yeah.
I think it's like maybe a Liberty.
Okay.
Like 2012 Jeep Liberty. I think so. I don't know.
Well, that's cool because it was based off like the old XJ, the 2012. It's boxy, it's square. I dig it.
I hate it. It leaks oil.
That's all Jeeps, bro.
That's a Jeep.
I gotta figure out. I don't know what to do. I need to tell it to. It just needs to stop because
you just dump in more oil. You keep driving.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah,
I take the leak repair. I pour that once I burn through all the oil, and I get a light that says, "Hey, put more oil in here." So I pour the goop in, and then I wait a minute, and then I pour more oil in, but then it just keeps leaking. It doesn't do anything.
Here's the best part: you never have to pay for an oil change.
I know, dude. My driveway is black. Like half my driveway is black, and then my wife, she has her nice. She drives a Lexus UX 200, right? Like a crossover thing. I love that car. Like, I wish that was my car. And so she said, "Nice, no oil over there." You know, her brand new car, and then mine is like, "Whoa, what happened here?" There was the police. They just drove by.
Yeah, I seen that.
That's what happens.
Yeah. No, dude, I talking about the old lady having nice cars. I had a Toyota Tacoma, and I started driving my old lady's Nissan Rogue.
Yeah,
for work, getting 30 miles a gallon. You know, got some tunes, AC, heat, all that good jazz. I was like, this is kind of nice. I went out and bought one the other day just because.
You're like, I'm trading this Tacoma to get one.
Yeah,
like my wife, she before her Lexus, she had a Toyota GT86, like a 2021 GT86. That I love that car. She'd never owned really a real sports car. I mean, she had like a Celica back in high school, but like that's not a real sports car. Like this car is so much fun to drive. It was amazing. So we bought it, and so you have like 45 days to make your first payment. We had the car for 40 days, and we got hit with a monster hailstorm. It obliterated like the whole town. Like they had to close the Dollar General for a year because it did so much damage to it. We came outside. It looks like somebody was like standing on the trunk and like was blasting the window with a shotgun. Whole back window was shattered. Front was shattered. There was like it. So it did. I think it was like $20,000 in damage to this car. It's like 18,000 somewhere like that. And we had it 40 days. Like literally a couple days later, I had to make the first payment. It was just like, and then it sat in the shop for 4 months, and then we got it back, and then we were like, you know what, let's just trade this in. So we traded it in for the UX. But I mean, I love cars. Like I've only ever had like fun cars, and then we had a kid, and I was like, well, I'm gotta drive a Jeep now.
Yep, that's me. Like I had So when we moved into this new house a few years ago, I was like, all right, babe, part of the deal is, you got the whole farm and stuff. I get 2-car garage to myself. So I had like a YJ Wrangler and my 67 Jeep Gladiator. I don't know if you'll be able to see this. No, probably not.
Nope, it whites out. Everything whites out on your phone, Sean.
Yeah, it does. But it's an old 67 Jeep Gladiator pickup truck that I put I just spent $1,400 in parts that I'm still waiting on for 3 months for it to come in. So we'll see how long the rest of those parts in. But like, it probably gets.
Oh, this is a cool looking thing. I like this.
Yeah, 67 Jeep Gladiator. It's
like a military vehicle.
Yeah, it's awesome. Like,
do you have a machine gun on it?
Yeah, sometimes.
Wolverines!
Wolverines! That's right. So yeah, it just depends. But that's my farm truck that I getting stuff done around the farm.
Very utilitarian.
Yes,
I dig it.
God, talk about ADHD, dude. We just went from toys to
yeah, exactly. I told you. That's exactly what we are.
Jeeps, cars. It's so good.
I don't want to take it over. I'm sorry. I off tracked everybody, and it was
so side note, that's actually how Brandon and I met. Like, we started an off-road group so long ago, and so we've been rock crawling. We're like pretty much the OGs in the group out of 7 to 12 members at a time who would go on these off-road trips. But him and I were always the geeks of the group, and we go, you guys are nerds. But we're like, him and I were always geeking out about freaking Power Rangers and Ninja Turtles, and everyone else is like, and we based our off-road group Empire Off-Road because we were all Star Wars geeks too.
Oh, so, cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's why I laughed when you talk about Empire, the toy store. I was like,
yeah, right.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, Sean was also in a metal band. Yeah, he used to wear skinny jeans.
At least they weren't girl jeans. They were skinny jeans, but they weren't girl jeans.
He beat up his sister and took them. It was pretty dope.
That's okay.
Not true.
I mean, maybe she had it coming.
Just
quit mouthing off.
Oh, dude, we've been on here for an hour and a half, bro.
Yep, the wife's gonna pop
overshot
any moment
at our time limit. Whew, nice, I love it. That's my favorite.
I don't believe in time limits. Those are artificial.
Don't censor me, bro. You can't censor me, bro. I'm a bit of a badass. So.
That's good.
All right, man. Well, you want to run your plugs one more time, Piper?
Yes, I will do that now. Listen to our podcast, Pop Collectors Alliance podcast. It's on all the podcasting platforms. You can go to, easiest way to find it is pod.link/PCA podcast, and I'll have all the different places that you can subscribe, or you can listen to episodes right there. Number 1. Number 2, go check out our store, PCAtoys.com. We are located in Keller, Texas, which is north Fort Worth, 136 South Main Street. You can also check out our website, PCAtoys.com. We have stuff on there. I'm trying to get more stuff on there, and if you want, you can just message me right through the website. Also, social media, facebook.com/Pop Collectors Alliance, TikTok and Instagram at Pop Alliance Pod, and we have a YouTube channel that I don't ever put anything on anymore, but you can look it up, youtube.com/Pop Collectors Alliance, and I think that's everything.
Sweet.
Beautiful. I love it. So,
knock my plate over.
With that being said, I'm not going to close this out anymore because I made an outro.
Oh, I can't wait.
Little pro. It ain't nothing. Just me talking over some sick music.
Oh, but, sweet.
Yeah, love it. Anyway, well, in that case, I'm your host, Brandon, with Mr. Sean Ryan.
Hi.
And our glorious guest, Piper. He's been a hoot.
Yay.
Appreciate it. I will see you guys later.
Bye.
Thanks for listening, everyone. As always, we appreciate every single one of you guys. So if you could, go to our Instagram and follow us at Turbo Geeks Ultra Podcast, all one word, and check out all of our cool skits and fun posts that we do there. Also, while you're there, you can click our LinkedIn right in the bio, and that'll take you to all of our other links, including our store, TurboGeeksUltra.com, where you can get t-shirts, hoodies, stickers, cool stuff like that, just to show off to all your friends that you listen to one of the most turbo podcasts on the internet. If you want to buy us a coffee, you can buy me a coffee at Buy Me a Coffee. Doing a podcast is fun, but it's also expensive. And if you want to support us, every little bit helps. As always, I'm Brandon, and we are out of here.